Hey, hi, hello, what's up? Welcome to another vlog. I am already stressed about this one. And I haven't even started yet. But as you can tell from the title and the thumbnail, we are doing another Read It Like. And this time, I'm gonna read it like Becca. You know this. It's the title, it's in the thumbnail. Can you tell why I'm gonna be stressed? What do you think of when you think of Becca from Becca and the Books? What comes to mind? Because for me, it's faerie smut. So this week and a half, however long this takes me, I'm gonna be reading faerie smut. This is very much out of my comfort zone. But let's roll with it. Let's roll with it. I have some plans for the week. I'm not even sure if I'm going to need to reference Becca's list, but of course I have it. So yeah. If you're not familiar with my Read It Like series, it's a vlog where I read it like one of my favourite people in the bookish world. I've read it like G from Book Roast, I've read it like Cody from Cody's Book Corner, and I've read it like Aaron from Booked and Busy. I will link to the playlist somewhere for you if you want to check out the other reading vlogs that I've done in this series. But basically it encourages me to pick up some of my favourite people's favourite books and read a little bit out of my comfort zone. This is the one that I think is going to push it the furthest so far. Because as I say, Becca reads a lot of faerie smut. So I might not have to reference her list too much, but I will go through it at the end like I usually do. Now, to kick this one off, as well as faerie smut, let's think author specific. Who do you think of when you think of Becca? I don't know about you, but I think of Sarah J. Maas. Maas, however you're supposed to say that. So, it's time, bitches. Let's read this book. This is an absolute weapon of a book, and it's the only it's not the only Sarah J. Maas one I haven't read. That was going to be the biggest lie I've ever told, because I haven't read most of the Throne of Glass series, but I don't want to go there. I would much rather go here, because I'm up to date with the ACOTAR series. This one, I wasn't entirely sure if I was going to pick it up at all. I was very conflicted. I thought I'm happy with where that left. I don't like Nesta, and this follows Nesta. And how that ended was fine for me to just leave it. However, all the hype I've seen for this has got me feeling just a little bit of FOMO. So, the FOMO wins. This vlog wins because top of her list is the ACOTAR series. So, it's only right to continue it. So we're starting this off with this absolute weapon that is full of faerie smut. Let's give this a go. I feel like that was a really chaotic entrance, but I hope you enjoy the vlog. Let's get reading. Hello, happy Thursday evening. It's 11:30 on Thursday evening. So I started this vlog yesterday, I think? Tuesday? No? Yesterday? I can't remember. Either way, progress is pretty decent. I am 353 pages into this beast of a book, and she's spicy. I'm having a pretty good time. Not gonna lie, I am enjoying the tensions. It is pleasant, having a good time. There are definitely pros and cons that I have for this. Like, I'm enjoying the spicy parts. It's fun to read, okay? But I will say Sarah J. Maas does trauma well, I think, but I'm not feeling it in this one as much as I had in the others. Faerie's trauma I really got. Nesta's trauma I just don't get as much, and that's entirely a personal thing. And then on top of that, the fact that I don't particularly like Nesta, and I still don't particularly like Nesta, so I'm just not as connected to her character too. So there are pros and cons, but I'm enjoying the spiciness, I'm enjoying the development of that whole thing. Having a good time, curious about what's going on with this bog. They're in the bog currently. If you've read it, you'll know what I mean. They're in a bog. I'm curious. There is a slight plot. Like, I wasn't expecting there to really be a plot, but there is a bit of a plot. Like, there is something happening in the world. There is, like, a dilemma to fix. So I am enjoying that aspect of the plot, despite that it's not that present, but maybe it will be later, I don't know. But I'm also enjoying, like, the development of the relationship in this one as well. So, yeah, so far, so good. With the spiciness, like, do I like spicy books, or do I just like Sarah J. Maas? Like, I don't know, I don't read enough spicy books. We're gonna find out in this vlog, aren't we? So, yeah, I'm gonna go to bed and read some more of this, because it's late. But I've also been doing my Bumblebee diamond painting, and I've got a lot of this done this evening, so having a good time with that one too. Alright, I will probably check in with you again tomorrow, but so far, so good. Hello, just wanted to briefly update you to let you know that I've read like nothing today. It's Saturday night at the minute, heading into Sunday morning. I have about 200 pages left of Silver Flames, and I'm hoping to finish that tomorrow. But I'm still really enjoying it. I definitely have pros and cons in terms of my thoughts, and I think if I didn't already know the characters and already know the world and such, then this definitely wouldn't have been as enjoyable as it is for me. So that's definitely something to consider. But I'm having a good time. I'm having fun. Is this another one of those, like, cheeseburger reads? Like, junk food, sort of? Maybe. I'm having a good time. But, yeah, I will finish it tomorrow and give you final thoughts then, because I've been a little bit of a failure today. But, tomorrow is the day that we finish. And then move on to, what's next? Hello, dear friends. It is Sunday. It's just gone 2 o'clock, and I am very happy to report to you that I have finished A Court of Silver Flames. I'm very proud that I've managed to finish this today, so I'm happy with that. I definitely have conflicted feelings. Of course, for a Read It Like Becca, I have to get Sarah J. Maas in here, obviously. So, check for Becca's favourite author of all time. But I am definitely conflicted. I enjoyed it. I had a good time reading it. I had fun. However, especially towards the end, there were a lot of things that, for me, were just far too convenient, didn't logically make much sense, and kind of wound me up because it was too convenient. Like, a few things, actually. And it leads me back to sort of an issue that I had with the original trilogy, being that Sarah J. Maas doesn't seem to like consequence very much, and it definitely felt like there were not many consequences for the things that happened in this, but at the same time, this one is majorly the romance of Nesta, and it's very smut. There's a lot of sex in this book. Like, a lot. And Sarah J. Maas really went to town with this one, with making sure it was classified as adult. We had a couple of C-bombs dropped in here. The language has definitely been upped a notch, and the sex scenes were definitely more detailed than they have been previously, so definitely trying to get that into adult sections of bookstores. We'll see if that happens. And I did have fun with it, I did enjoy it, but the plot was a bit weak. But I think even Becca acknowledges this. The plot in this is not its strong point. It is very character-driven and relies on the fact that you know the characters very well already, because you're 4 books in at this point. You know the world, you know the politics of the world and what's going on well at this point. because there is very little in relation to character other than Nesta characters at all, because it relies on the fact that you already know them all. There's not that much. I suppose we do have Gwyn and Emery, and I liked that, and I liked that theme of the women banding together, but even then there were things about that really just wound me up. But I had fun, I enjoyed it, but definitely see flaws in it, and can acknowledge that if it was not characters that I already knew so well and a world that I already knew and loved, then I wouldn't have enjoyed this anywhere near as much as I did. So with that being said, and with that in mind, I've popped it through Core Pile. Characters 9, atmosphere 8, writing 8, plot 7, intrigue 7, logic 6. Actually, I'm gonna leave it at 7 for plot. And enjoyment 8, which overall gives it a 7.57, which is a 4-star on Core Pile. It's the lower part of 4-star, but it's 4-star. So yeah, 4-star read for me. Definitely had fun, and there was a lot of fairy sex, which I think is this book's main selling point. So if you're in it for the romance and the smut, yep. Character development, plot, less so. I'm glad that I read it after all of the back and forth that I had on whether I would or not. I'm very glad that I did. So thank you, Becca, for the persuasion on that one. But yeah, job done. Big chunky book out of the way. That now means that I need to move on to my next Becca book. And my next Becca book is going to be Fortuna Sworn by Kelsey Sutton. Is that her name? I don't think I'm going to like this one. But it's such a Becca book. When I think of that book, I think of Becca. When I think of Becca, I think of that book and Sarah J. Maas. So Fortuna Sworn is coming out. Where did it feature on Becca's list? Because I know that the ACOTAR series was first on her list, like absolute top. Oh, it's quite a ways down, midway, although I don't know if this is in order or not. Yeah, we've got ACOTAR and then Throne of Glass. I'm not dipping into Throne of Glass in this video. It's in there, quite a way down, but it's in there. It's, in my mind, a Becca book, so I'm gonna download the ebook because I don't have a physical copy, so I'm gonna download the ebook onto my iPad and see how much of that I can get through today. I haven't even downloaded it yet, so I should get on that. Why does Amazon just take me straight to Audible? Okay, I'm gonna go and purchase Fortuna Sworn, and I will get back to you later. Because this is having a crisis. But yeah, Silver Flames, complete. 4 stars. Here we go. I did it. I have it. It's here. We are going to get started. Hi, it's pretty late on Wednesday night and I realise I haven't updated this vlog in a little while since I finished Silver Flames, I think. I told you I started Fortuna Sworn, right? I'm like 77% of the way through Fortuna Sworn. I'd wanted to finish it tonight, but then me and Jake ended up watching The Crown instead. Really enjoying that so far. But yeah, I'm 77% of the way through Fortuna Sworn, and I mean, I didn't think I was gonna like it. So take my opinion with a pinch of salt. Because I was definitely reading it more for the entertainment value for you than for me, because I think my review on that one's going to be interesting. For starters, the beginning scene, this isn't a spoiler, this is like the opening scene of the book, is that the main character, who is a nightmare, so she's a mythical being, or magical being, because obviously it's real in that world, she's captured and put in a cage and taken to a market for, like, the trading of these magical creatures as slaves. And it's Shrek. It's Shrek. You know that scene in Shrek where the old woman takes Donkey and, talking Donkey? That scene? It's that scene. but in this book, with Fortuna being tried to be traded as a slave, Shrek. Couldn't read that with a serious face. Also, just in general, development is like non-existent. Any sort of apparent sexual tension, non-existent. In fact, a lot of the, like, sexy bits are just weird. Like, uncomfortable. Not good. In my opinion. I just don't feel the connection. There is no chemistry, there is no tension, there's no build to this point. It's just weird. Like, I just read a scene, if you've read it, you'll know what I mean. I've just read a scene in a bathtub that was just like, out of nowhere. Bit uncomfortable to read because no build up to that. Nothing about that was enjoyable. Anyway, we will talk in depth on my thoughts and feelings on that one when I've actually finished it, which will now be tomorrow, sadly. But yeah, eesh. Hello, it is whatever time it is on Thursday. Excuse my face, I'm having a moment. Anyway, I finished the book. This is not a book, this is an iPad, but it's an ebook. So I finished the book. I think I did briefly update you last night with like midnight thoughts before I finished it, and I had about 60 pages left. I have since sat and read those final 60 pages, and my dudes, I don't think it comes as any surprise to anyone involved here that that was not for me. I've put it through Core so we can go through my Core rating, but I do just want to take this moment to apologise to Becca. I'm sorry, but we didn't think I was gonna like this. This wasn't a surprise. This was a let's read something really out of my comfort zone that really radiates Becca energy, and Fortuna Sworn definitely does that. And after A Court of Silver Flames and the spiciness we had there, I think anything was kind of destined to fail anyway, but the fact that I didn't think I was going to like it, no one really thought I was going to have a good time here, did they? If you got to this point and you thought I was going to have a good time, I want to know where your brain went. Like, I need to know what you thought to reach that conclusion. But no. So, no surprise, it's come out at a 2-star. Let's talk through that. Start off with characters. I feel like I'm going to go into some depth here because I need to justify myself because everybody loves this book. I didn't. Characters. I've given it a 3, right? I did not feel anything for any of them. I did not feel any of the relationships between them. I did not feel any strain of chemistry anywhere. I feel like all of the character relationships kind of puffed out of nowhere. Like, one moment they didn't exist, and the next moment they're touching each other in a bath. Weird. I felt no romance, no chemistry, nothing was happening there for me. I was not into it. If anything, the only character I was slightly intrigued by was Laurie. That's it. And, like, he wasn't there for a great deal of it. So, I gave characters a 3. Doesn't deserve, like, a 0. The characters were there, they were in the book, they had page time, but I didn't particularly like them. Atmosphere, I gave a 4. I think it's a generous 4, but we're going to stick with that. Again, nothing spectacular. In fact, sometimes the atmosphere was a bit weird, especially in the dreamscape. I thought the atmosphere was a little bizarre. In the cavern with the Leviathan, if you've read it, you'll know where I mean. The atmosphere there was maybe a little bit better, but overall, I just didn't feel it a lot of the time. Writing, I've given a 4. I'm not sure if this is generous or not. Like, I don't have anything bad to say about the writing. It was very simple. It was very basic. It told its story. I suppose it did its job, but it was lacking in so many areas that I don't think I can give writing any more than a 4 for me. It just didn't pull through anything higher than that. I have nothing else to say. Plot, I gave a 3. Didn't really get it, didn't really care. I was not that intrigued, which brings us on to Intrigue, which I've also given a 3. I didn't feel any of the motivations for any of the characters, and not only did I not feel them, I didn't understand what they were a lot of the time. It felt very thin and very unbelievable, and I feel like maybe we should have had like an extra 100 pages just developing the reasoning behind behaviours and actions and what that plot was. I feel like although Fortuna should have had strong motivation, it didn't feel like strong motivation to me. And I think that just made the whole plot feel very thin. So 3 for that and 3 for Intrigue. Logic, I gave a 2. There were plot holes galore. A lot of it did not make sense. And again, relationship development and building non-existent. Logic behaviour of other characters just completely irrational. I didn't get it. I'm sorry. And enjoyment, I gave 3 overall. I just didn't have that much of a good time. So I'm really sorry about this. But yeah, it's come out at a 3.14, which is a 2-star. But realistically and reasonably, no one expected that to be any higher than that. So you can't be mad at me about it because you didn't expect better. Right? And we're all just glad that I did this and we had this journey, and am I slightly curious about the sequel because of the last page? Little bit. Weirdly, a little bit. And I don't know what to do about that. So we move on. We're done with that. So we've done 2 faerie smuts. I need something a little bit more me right now. So, consulting Becca's list once again, I am going to go for a comic. Something nice and quick, something breezy. I've had 2 reasonable reads, so something quick. I'm going to go for Saga. Saga is on her list. I'm up to volume 9, so I know it's a series that I'm already invested in and enjoying, so slight cheat in that regard, but it's on the list, which means I get to read it, and I know that Becca likes the series, so it's a win. And this is the last published one, and when there will be more, who knows, but it is on her list. It's actually directly below Fortuna if her list is in any sort of order, so I'm gonna go for this one. And then we may have to take a pause for this video for Bookopoly-thon, because that's happening this weekend, and I will only have read 3 books. And there's definitely one more that I want to get to, which you'll see sort of soonish. But I think we are going to call it 4 books on this one, just because Silver Flames was massive, and 3 of those 4 are books that I would not necessarily have ever picked up by myself. Silver Flames, I was very on the fence about whether I would pick up ever anyway. Fortuna Sworn I definitely would not have picked up, and the other book that I want to get to later in this video I would never have picked up by myself. The reason I'm not starting that one now is simply because Bookopoly starts this weekend and I don't want to have to put it down again. So the plan is this little cheaty breezy one in there. So let's read this. I shall report back with my thoughts, although I'm gonna love it. Hello, we're on the floor, and I have not filmed anything for this particular video in a little while, because last time we spoke was like the day before Bookopoly-thon, and I said I was gonna go and read Saga. We've had a Bookopoly-thon since then, and my Bookopoly-thon vlog will already be up, which seems like an appropriate thing to do in the middle of a Read It Like Becca video. So if you haven't seen my Bookopoly-thon vlog, go check that out. 48-hour Bookopoly-thon was a lot of fun. I had wanted to complete this video before Bookopoly-thon happened. That didn't happen though. So we're back here. What have we done already? For you, it hasn't been much time. For me, it's been a little while. We read Silver Flames, we've read Fortuna Sworn, we've read Saga. I haven't spoken to you about Saga though. This is the last published Saga, and I've seen a lot of people upset with the fact that this is the last one. I've seen a lot of people having some emotional reactions to this last published one and thinking, oh god, how can we wait? Why do they have to go on hiatus now after what happened in this one? And now that that's happened and I'm up to date, I completely get it. Because the end of this volume is absolutely heart-wrenching. I had put off reading the last couple of volumes of Saga, I think for that reason. Like, I didn't want to have to wait that long, but here we are. I'm now completely up to date with Saga, and I knew I was gonna like this because it's Saga. I've liked every one of them so far, so it was kind of a cheat one, but it's on Becca's list, so not a cheat one, but I knew I was going to enjoy it. Volume 9. God, this is emotional. This is painful. This gets 5 stars, though. Like, you can't not give Saga 5 stars. This is fantastic. We've come so far with these characters, and then that ending, god damn it, like, the pain is real. So 5 stars for Saga. If you are unfamiliar with Saga, it is like a sci-fi Romeo and Juliet. There is a war going on in space, and the what do they call them, the Landfallians and the Moonies or something, 2 opposing sides of this war, and these 2 people from the opposite sides of the war end up together. They have a baby, and it makes them the most wanted people in the galaxy, and it is their life on the run, trying to give their daughter a life. And the ending of this one is heartbreaking. So I am very eager for the creators of this, Fiona Staples and Brian Vaughan, to get back on it, because goddamn, damn. But yeah, 5 stars. So book 3 for this, down 5 stars. So we've had a 4-star, a 2-star, a 5-star. And to end this video, we're going to go for one more. So we're only going to do 4 books in this one because a couple of these are well out of my comfort zone. We are doing The Bargainer. We're doing Rhapsodic. I have the ebook. I did the Amazon thing where you can get the ebook and then add the audiobook for like £2. So I have the audiobook for Rhapsodic going. I have the ebook on my iPad so I can like listen and read along. I am currently halfway through chapter 3, so not very far, but I'm already very curious. Our main character already seems like a bit of a badass, like she's got something going on. I'm confused because there's already like 2 timelines. I'm a bit confused, but I'm sure I will learn. But where did this feature on Becca's list? Oh, just under Saga. So, okay. There's a lot in that like top area that I can't do for this video. Like we did Akasif, Silver Flames, which is Akatar, and we've got some Hob and some Sanderson and so on up there. But yeah, The Bargainer. It's on here. And it's another one of those like fae smut ones that I really associate with Becca. Like Akatar I really associate with Becca, Fortuna Sworn really associate with Becca, The Bargainer and Rhapsodic really associate with Becca, so it seems like the right thing to do to wrap this up. We've done Fortuna Sworn, which is well out of my comfort zone and I didn't like. We're doing Rhapsodic, which is also well out of my comfort zone. However, I have a feeling that I might like this more than I liked Fortuna Sworn. We will find out. It shouldn't take me too long to read it. It's not massively long, and the audiobook says that I only have like 4 hours left of it because I listen on double speed because audiobook narrators are just too slow for me. So I'm listening to that on double speed, so I haven't got that long of it left. Like, I might finish it tomorrow, which would be great. Like, the sooner I can finish this vlog, the sooner I can get it edited and uploaded for you. But yeah, I have a feeling I'm gonna like The Bargainer more than I liked Fortuna. We will see how that goes. But it's definitely a video of throwing me out of my comfort zone to read a load of fae smut. and then having something a little bit more me in the mix as well, just to make sure that I have some definite, like, 5-star content. But yeah, that's what's going on currently. As I say, confused but intrigued with the different timelines and our main character having a little bit of kick to her. I'm looking forward to continuing. I do think I'm going to enjoy it a little bit more. But yeah, that's my update for you at the moment. Sorry it's been a while. I mean, you haven't noticed, but it's been a while. But yeah, looking forward to cracking back into it. Alright, I will let you know when I have something more to say about the Bargainer. Hello! It's been a minute since we spoke, and by a minute I mean I spoke to you yesterday. That was it. But I've nearly finished Rhapsodic. I have 54 minutes left of the audiobook. I'm here. You can't see that. But I have 54 minutes left of the audiobook, and I like it. Cue personality crisis. I'm really intrigued. I feel like there's enough intrigue in regards to the relationship aspect, but there's also enough intrigue in regards to the plot and the world that I'm also, like, I think the balance is quite good, despite the fact that it is very, like, romance heavy. It's obviously a fantasy romance. It's very smut. There has been a couple of smutty scenes. Admittedly, way less than I thought there would be. I thought this would be way more smutty, but maybe that's later in the series. But the curiosity, I think, is set up so well. Like, the intrigue is definitely there, and it makes you want to keep going. It's a really addictive read because there are so many questions posed in regards to, one, their relationship, what's going on, how it's got to the point that it is. So, essentially, this book is about Callie, who is a siren, and she did something terrible when she was younger, and she needed to call in a favour from the Bargainer. The Bargainer is Desmond Flynn. He is a dark fairy. And she ends up racking up a bunch of deals with him. Basically, he does favours in exchange for, like, secrets and favours in return, and she ends up having this massive bracelet, and every bead is a favour that she owes the Bargainer. And she racked all those beads up 7 years ago, and then he disappeared. He vanished out of her life, and then 7 years later suddenly reappears. So there's a lot of this curiosity around what happened 7 years ago and what's happened now to bring them to this point. I still don't know the answer to that, so I'm really hoping I get it in the last hour. I'm really curious about that. So the intrigue, very much high scoring currently. But then on top of that, in this incredibly paranormal world, there's all sorts of creatures in here. There's shifters and sirens and fairies and all sorts. There is something terrible happening in the fairy realm. So there is also, like, an actual plot happening there alongside the plot of what is happening between Callie and the Bargainer. So I'm enjoying it. I'm intrigued. I'm having a good time. It's very easy to listen to. I'm diamond painting whilst I do it. It's one of these dragons. I've done a lot of the sky currently. So I'm diamond painting whilst I listen to it, and I have an hour left. So I'm hoping that I'm going to finish that tonight, and we can wrap this vlog up tonight. It's surprising me how much I'm enjoying this, like how good a time I'm having. So we'll see how this ends. Hello again, my friends. Let's have a chat. I have finished Rhapsodic by Laura Thalassa. That's the name. I finished it. It's done. Ta-da! It was surprisingly enjoyable, but we cannot overlook certain things. Answers were provided. Was I satisfied with those answers? No. Was I satisfied with the ending of this? No. Did I enjoy the lead up? Did I enjoy the intrigue? Did I enjoy the not knowing but being desperate to know? Yes. Did I like the answer? No. Something happened that I'm sick of happening in these things. I have not read many fantasy romance books, but goddamn, I'm sick of this thing. Like, I get why it's a thing. It's an easy thing, but it's an easy thing. So, like, why? Anyway, I can't tell you what that is because spoilers. But I've put it through Core Pile, and surprisingly, Rhapsodic comes out at a 3-star, which is decent. It comes out at a 5.57 overall, so it's greater than halfway. And I would consider reading the sequel. I didn't hate it, and I liked the relationship curiosities. Like, I liked learning more about what we didn't know about their relationship. But don't get me wrong, there were elements of that relationship that were, like, problematic. I was talking to Steph about this, and when she was initially asking how I feel, and I was like, so this has happened? And she was like, yeah, I didn't say it wasn't problematic. Because it is, and the way certain things are handled, I don't know, I don't think it was necessarily graceful. But characters, I gave it a 6, atmosphere, I gave it a 6, writing a 5, plot a 5, intrigue a 6, logic a 5, enjoyment a 6. So very mid-ground, comes out at a 3-star. But I didn't hate it, and I definitely liked it more than I liked Fortuna, which was kind of the prediction going into this. But I definitely liked the earlier portion of the book to the end. I liked the curiosity. I liked being strung along without knowing anything, and then when we got that answer, it wasn't what I wanted. So, yeah, there's that. But I did it, and I didn't hate it. Shocking. That is the last book that I will be reading for this video. So, with that in mind, it is time for us to have a flick through Becca's list. So, top of her list we have A Court of Thorns and Roses. Of course, for that I read A Court of Silver Flames, because that's where I'm up to in the series. It made sense to do that, and gave that one 4 stars. You've heard my thoughts on that in this. Fairy dick. Lots of fairy dick. Then we have Throne of Glass, which we know I'm struggling with that series in general. We'll move on. Hob, I'm as far as she is, so that's all good. Warbreaker, I am going in an order with Sanderson and couldn't get to that yet, but I'm very excited too. Stormlight, again going in an order, can't get to that yet. Nevernight, I have read Nevernight, I read it quite a long time ago. I think I gave it 3 stars, but I've since decided that J. Kristoff is not for me, sadly. This follows on quite nicely with Illuminae. I read Illuminae a long time ago, DNF'd the sequel multiple times, and have since decided that I really don't think J. Kristoff is for me. Ready Player One is one that's been on my TBR for a really long time, and had I had more time for this video, I definitely would have wanted to read it for this. I will get to it at some point, for sure. You, by Caroline Kepnes, never gonna happen. Red Queen, also probably never gonna happen. Rebecca, never gonna happen. Orange, the manga, I was considering reading that for this. Will I ever pick it up by myself? Probably not. That would again have been one of the ones that I would never have got to by myself. Fortuna Sworn, never would have picked that up by myself. Absolutely not, but I have. It got 2 stars. Still ever so curious about the sequel. Will I perhaps do it one day? I'm willing to be persuaded, even though it only got 2 stars. But, like, I'm willing to be pushed over the edge on that one. Saga. Oh, 5 stars. Love Saga, and have been putting off reading the end of it for ages, so this has pushed me to do that. I'm thankful for it. God, the end of that was intense. Wayfarers, I DNF'd. Too character driven, not enough plot. I didn't care about anything because nothing was happening. The Bargainer, I've now read. 3-star, curious. Would I consider continuing? Probably. Didn't like how it ended though. The Bone Season I do desperately want to read. The Beast Player, not one that I've heard much about, to be honest. Queen of the Tearling, not one that's high on my priority list, and similarly with An Unkindness of Magicians. So mine and Becca's taste, as we can see from this list, differ massively. The uncommon in here is the few that we do match up on, like Robin Hobb. We both really enjoy Robin Hobb. Saga, we've both really enjoyed. Sanderson, when I get there, I will enjoy because I've loved what I have read of him. But otherwise, a lot of her favourites are books that I would never pick up myself, or have DNF'd, or have read the first in the series and DNF'd, or something like that. So this really is highlighting how different mine and Becca's taste in books is, and I think that's something that we're both very aware of. And I think that's why a lot of people have suggested doing Becca for one of these videos, because it was going to push me out of my comfort zone, and this absolutely has. Have I had a good time doing it though? Yeah, you know what? I have. I've had a good time filming this. The books that I've read have definitely not been my perfect cup of tea, but they were entertaining. I enjoyed them whilst I was there, partially. Less so with Fortuna. I was kind of reading that for the like, like, I wanted to know why people loved it so much. But I've had a good time with this. It's been fascinating, and cue the identity crisis of maybe I don't hate romance as much as I thought, but it definitely needs to be balanced for me to like it. There needs to be a decent balance of the romance, and it needs to develop. It needs to have something to get me hooked. It can't just be boring, mundane, fall in love. No, I need some sort of hook in this. I'm thinking Rhapsodic, where it had that sort of curiosity around their relationship and why it's the way it is. It needs something to keep me hooked. But also a good balance of another plot that gives anything in this world some weight and some consequence. It's been interesting. It's been entertaining. I hope it's been entertaining for you as well. I hope you've enjoyed watching me. I was gonna say the phrase dig into some fairy dick there, and I've said it now anyway, so I'm just gonna leave it there. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Thank you for hanging out with me. If you have enjoyed, give us a thumbs up, and let me know down below who you would like to see me read it like next, and we'll see how far we can push my reading tastes. Yeah. Alright, thank you so much to Becca for being the subject of this one, and I will see you guys in whatever comes next. Bye!